Hello. How is everybody out there today? Well, I hope. This is Ed and Chris, and we're here to drink wine with you. Together.
Thank you.
On a pre-recorded segment. For your convenience.
Still feels real.
It sure does.
This wine's real.
This is the most real thing we do all week, isn't it?
Sure.
I mean, like, we're being real.
We're keeping it real.
We're keeping it real. It keeps it real. I hope everybody's enjoying this. Well, I guess there's no telling what the weather's like when you're watching this, but as we're filming this, it's a soggy mess.
And it was an icy mess earlier. Now it's just a soggy mess. Although
Yeah.
not on the street, just on the trees and power lines and stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody's safe and sound and staying warm. And
It is cold.
Yeah.
It is a cold, wet rain.
One of the best ways to stay warm is through alcohol, right?
God, it does the job every time.
Isn't that like
It's a bat in 1,000.
yeah, I think that's
100%.
I think that's been medically proven that it's actually good for you. Just kidding. But we are going to celebrate and enjoy some
It
wine.
is a fact, though. It makes you feel warm.
Sure, it makes you feel warm, but doesn't actually make you warmer. So we're going to get started right away because Chris and I are very thirsty. And this is a beautiful white from Tintero. This is in the Longueuil region, which is right up there by our beloved Barolo area. Great red wines, Barbaresco in this region. And actually this producer also makes some Barbaresco. Their actual main production is Moscato, believe it or not. They like to do, and they do lots of different bubblies, but they do have about three or five small plots for Arneis. And this is a beautiful white grape, and we have dabbled with it. We had that Di Marie
On
a
the
while
virtual
back.
tasting, the Arneis was on that.
Yeah.
When you did the big one with
Yeah.
down in the barrel room. On the big screen.
Yeah, with when Pablo Di Marie
Yeah.
drank with us. That was
It
fun.
was fun, and the Arneis was excellent.
And we sold more of that than anything else that day. And so I thought we'd circle back around and try this grape one more time, but
we
from
tried
a different
more
producer.
of it the Sunday after.
Yeah, we sure did. Yes, we had to. It was important. But this is a different producer. Great importer here above Kermit Lynch. He's really great at discovering these smaller production wineries.
The stamp of quality when you see the Kermit Lynch on there.
Oftentimes it's a softball pitch right down the middle.
Yeah. He doesn't put his name on dogs.
Yeah. So, but also at the same time, it's not that these things are going to be. It's not that they're going to be Americanized or anything of that nature. These are still indicative of what the varietal should be and is in these areas. So this is in the northeastern part of Italy, and like I said, it is a Nebbiolo dominant area for much of it, but the Longueuil also has beautiful whites, and as I alluded to before, Moscatos. But this is for you white wine people that are looking for something a little bit different. This to me is that great. It really does present a lot of different flavor profiles that you don't necessarily get from other single varietals.
It's hard to relate this to another wine because it has so many. I was taking a few sips while you were talking, and it just has multiple attributes of other wines. It's hard to go. It's like
Right.
some honeysuckle on the nose, though.
Absolutely. The aromatics are phenomenal, and they almost want you to believe that it's going to be a sweeter, fruitier
Yes.
wine. And what really, in my mind, dominates on the palate is more the minerality. And it does have fruit, but it's almost like that kind of, it's kind of like the fruit of a Pinot Grigio, but not as dainty. And there's certainly some apple in there, and the minerality, and I get a little beeswax too.
Good one. Good one. But it's very bright and it's clean
Yeah.
tasting. It's delicious.
Yeah, there's also some earth, vegetality in there. It's got a lot going on. This is certainly, without a doubt,
Green fruit, little kiwi, like the
Yeah.
green apple, like you're saying, Granny
Yeah.
Smith, and
but it is old world.
cucumber almost.
Yes.
On the vegetality.
That's what I'm talking about. See, the more we sit here and drink, the more we can find out, because this is a complex wine, and complex wines deserve that. You know, you shouldn't just quaff it down. It's a complex wine. Let's think about it, taste it, and imagine all the pairing possibilities.
Oh, endless. Endless. It's delicious.
There's quite a perfume on that.
And it has so many things happening. Normally when something's busy like this, it doesn't work. But this really works. I mean, all those different compounds are really in harmony in this wine.
There is just a tinge of bitter right at the end, which would make me think that it would go well with the kind of fattier foods. I always like that, you know, kind of like a fish and chips, or you know something that's got maybe some mayonnaise in it,
Yeah.
or you know something fatty. Gosh, it might even work with pork belly if you did it in kind of
yeah.
like not too sweet
Not
version,
too sweet.
more
Yeah.
of a roasted version.
And you've got some crispness on it. You crisp that skin, and you know it wasn't, like you said, not too over the top on the preparation. But no, it would be perfect for this.
Do you have any ideas of what you might be throwing at it this week?
We're going to do. It'll have some things that complement your suggestions there. We're doing a salmon cake.
Oh, beautiful.
So we have a lovely steelhead salmon, and we're using mostly belly meat on this, so super fatty.
Even fattier.
And we're going to have a little goat cheese along with that. I think the brightness of that is really going to be nice. But we'll have a little mayonnaise, we'll have a little mustard, we'll have a little breadcrumb. So you have a lot of things that
Beautiful.
are you know,
We're on the same
big
page.
for a fish, but you know it's going to be great with this.
And you know what I didn't mention here is the hidden acidity here. It is so well integrated. It is there, but it doesn't stand out. You know, my mouth is watering, but I don't feel like it's
It's not a
overly
faucet,
acidic. You know, and sometimes things like maybe like a Sauvignon Blanc where it is really super intense.
Yeah, the
bright.
pucker quality on a Sauv Blanc is immediate.
Right.
You know, this is subtle.
Yeah, this is well hidden. It's got great body too. I mean, I can't say enough things about this one.
Yeah, the weight is just wonderful. It's that's my kind of white wine.
Well, I can imagine that this is going to be quite tasty with that salmon cake.
God, I think it's going to be it's going to go really well, especially in the tasting kits, because you know it's a sturdy fish. You know, it's
Right.
not like you know if you did something seared, it would die in the box in the reheating process. Where
Right.
the salmon cake's more sturdy, and will be
Yep,
able
yep.
to handle the travel in the reheating process. So I think that's going to be great.
A little chalky, man. There's all kinds of stuff going on there.
There's a lot happening. It's,
Almost got a little, like a hint of celery seed.
yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
it's not celery, but you know that kind. Yeah, celery seed has a more.
Celery seed's very different than
Yeah.
crunching celery. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because celery seed's so good in soups and make blends, spice blends to sear things. You know, it really does impart a much different flavor. And
Right.
even as this is warming up, it's getting more buttery.
Yeah. There
You
is.
know,
There's
it's
a.
crisp right out of the bottle, but as it's warming up in the
Yeah.
glass, these last, I mean, it's getting much more round.
I can't believe how much we're talking about this white wine.
It's wonderful.
It's great, yeah. Well, I do enjoy this grape. It's not something that I reach for regularly, but when I do, I never regret it because it is thought provoking. This grape tends to be more complex than most whites, and of course, when it's in the hands of great winemakers, this family, interesting enough, even though they are northern Italy, they came from France in the early 1900s to start this winery. And so, you know, they have lineage of great winemaking, not just from Italian winemaking, but also from French winemaking, which I think is really cool too. Two of them.
Well, they both benefit
Yeah.
from that, you know, the soil, the Italian soil, and the French mentality. I mean, that's a match made in heaven. How would something like this age? I mean, it's drinking, obviously, I think, I don't know much about an aged Arneis, but obviously this kind of feels like it's like
sturdy.
in its prime.
It's pretty sturdy. I mean, it could probably handle 2 to 5 years.
I guess
without
is it still going to
degradation.
be this complex 2 years from now?
I don't see how it wouldn't be. Complexity is one of those things you don't really lose. And what usually falls out, from my experience, is the fresh fruit flavors fall out. And since really the fresh fruit isn't driving this,
It
I
really
don't-
isn't.
You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
what's-
it's there, but it's not for me. It's not what stands out.
well, apple doesn't go away. You
Yeah.
know, you're not talking about the real delicate fruits like pear or citrus or things like that. That you know, if that's driving it and that goes away, you've got a problem.
Yeah.
But the style of flavors here seem to have more legs.
I agree. Yeah, that is a lovely beverage, and
That is
I think I like it now even more than when I had it 2 weeks ago. But
That would go great with a lot of holiday foods.
oh yeah,
You know, I mean, it's
yeah,
great this time.
particularly turkey or ham. I think that would be a killer addition to anyone's table. And hey, by the way, I sent out all those holiday meal menus. So if y'all are
Speaking
looking,
of turkey and ham,
if y'all are looking for something delicious, we posted our menus for the holidays, and I highly recommend you peruse that because Chef Chris has released some beautiful stuff for purchase. And of course, if you have special requests, if he can do it, he will.
pretty easy to take a special request with a little notice. And we like doing that.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
And I guess, you know, people are spending less on gifts this year, so that means you can spend more on food and
Well,
wine.
I think, you know, after this year, you go ahead and treat yourself.
I really do. I think
I mean, get the good food, get the good wine, and you know, that's what Christmas is going to be this year. So treat yourself.
it's shocking how many people, now, you know, obviously, because of COVID, restaurant sales are down all across the world, and, you know, capacities are dropped, and people just aren't going out like they used to. But, with that being said, a staggering number of people are coming in and getting gift cards
Sure.
and bottles of wine for gifts because, you know, it's like dining and wine, you know, wine and food in general have become more important, which could be the bright side that comes out of this. Experience is more important than
It's
things.
wonderful, and it's like we were talking about with that couple. It was at the chef's table this past weekend. This was their Christmas gift to each other, and you know,
Yeah,
they have
that's so cool.
4 kids of various ages. You know, most of them, all but one, are out of the house, and you know, obviously they're very accomplished people. And it's like, you know, if we want something, we'll go get it. You know, Christmas after a while is tough, and they're like, so we give each other experiences while they come every it's their second or third Christmas here with us. But
Yep.
so I mean, you know, giving the gift of experience, whatever it may be, are great gifts.
Agreed.
Except for you, I love what I got you for Christmas, and it's not an experience. I'm
Well,
excited.
Is it a Magnum?
You trying to ruin Christmas here? It's not,
Oh.
but I mean,
I figured it was a
I think
Magnum.
but the problem with getting you a Magnum is that that's a gift to me as well. Because you can't
What
put
could
one
be wrong
down
with
in one sitting, and you would have to elicit my help, and then that just seems like cheating Santa.
Well, Santa can join too if he wants.
Santa's probably going to earn it.
Oh, just while we're talking about gifts, because I feel like I do. I try to be. You know, I am very appreciative of all the generosity of our guests. It's amazing how many people throughout the year bring us bottles of wine. They want us to share, Chris and I, over the year, not just at gift giving season, but throughout the year.
Hey, thinking about you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, and that means the world to us. And I just want to have it just reiterated how much we appreciate that. And those wines never ever go to waste.
Well, and they're always enjoyed.
Yes,
And they're always
thoroughly.
enjoyed together,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
good things have always come from that. We have good conversation, we have good time together. And,
Yep.
they are not in vain.
And also, just one side note on that is when you do give us a gift of wine, whether it be Chris or I or us together, whichever it is, know that you are in the conversation while we're drinking.
That's true
We
story.
sit around and we're
And
deep.
we always cheers to the gift.
Yeah.
Always.
We're deep drinkers, if that's a term, but
It is now.
now we're no strangers to after a shift slugging some wine, but we also know what's important when a certain bottle is poured, or when the moment is a little bit different than just trying to quench a thirst.
Well, and we're good at separating the two, and get that little $6 number
Yeah.
is to take the is like medicine,
Right,
take
yeah,
the
yeah.
edge off. But we don't ever do that with the good stuff. So
That's true. We had some really good stuff Saturday, didn't we? Holy cow, that chef's table. You
That
talked
would-
about the couple we had.
It had to have been your I was telling your parents that
Yeah.
it was like a New Year's wine chef table.
Yeah.
Because top to bottom, not that there's any bad wines in there,
No.
but start to finish, it looked like one of the New Year's.
It was it's your fault because
What is
your
it?
food, and I have to pair the wine to the food, and I have to use the proper wine.
You did.
It just so happened that
You
that,
did.
that Chris essentially forced my hand to serve Napa Cab, Barolo, Premier Cru, Chablis. Gosh, we had a Cru Beaujolais. We had a Cru Beaujolais.
God, that was
We
so
had a
good. That was my
Grand.
favorite.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Grand Reserve, Cava, 2014. It just went on and on.
Stupid.
It was great.
I mean, it was ridiculous.
We had 9 people. I think 4 of them realized the weight of that wine list and the food. And then there was 5 that were kind of, ooh.
A couple folks in there got it.
They
but
were having a great time, but I don't think they understood the.
I think 2 of them did, but
Yeah.
they were overshadowed by
Yeah.
some of the more rambunctious members of their
Sure.
group. But
We get all
And that's
kinds,
okay.
don't we?
That's
Yeah,
right.
it's great. I love it. I love the dynamics of that table. I would rather have that kind of activity than people just sitting on their hands and not showing any emotion.
well, it makes you appreciate too how, for the most part, well behaved everybody is.
Oh, yeah,
When you get a couple of rowdies,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes you take for granted what a great experience it is until someone, I don't want to say messes it up because it
Yeah.
didn't, but it threw a wrench.
Yeah. But I also, it wasn't, you had your parties, partiers, but the other people were so inquisitive, asking
They were
questions.
super into
So
it.
we were having super technical conversations. We're having super fun conversations. It really was. I just
And a little bit of everything.
and we say this every weekend that this chef's. I tell people this. They think I'm just blowing sunshine, but I tell them each week that this is a unique night. We'll never see this menu again. These people will not be sitting at this table again, drinking these wines again.
With those combinations.
Yeah, and
Now, all the elements
One of
will
the
never
thing-
be repeated.
one of the things that people don't take account for is the actual customer interaction.
Yes,
And
that is
we've done it so much. We see it. We see how people become lifelong friends at the chef
true.
table.
Yeah, strangers.
Strangers. Yeah, they come and meet again and do this.
They come back and do it again. Yeah.
It's fascinating to me. So it's not always just about the food and wine. It's the people.
It's a study in sociology at that table, week to week to week to week to week, to see the personalities and the interactions and how the reactions. It's fascinating. Beyond grapes and protein, it's fascinating to watch.
Grapes and protein. Oh my gosh, maybe that's what we should call our podcast.
That's got to be our podcast.
I love it. Grapes
There we go.
and protein.
Grapes and protein.
But anyway, we divert like we always do, and I just want to thank everybody for sharing precious gifts that we receive. We sure do appreciate them, and just remember you're with us when we're drinking those. So let's move on to this beauty. What a great pour from California. This is from Ravel and Stitch, and as you can see, pretty sleek styling there on the bottom.
Really is. It catches your eye.
Yeah, kind of California-esque, I would say. They're based out of Livermore. These grapes are Central Coast, so a much broader region that they acquire grapes from. And this is all those things that you would expect it to be. It's a big California Cab, well-rounded, plush, dense fruit, plenty of vanilla because it does see 18 months of oak, French oak that is. Some neutral though, so it's not going to be necessarily over the top oak, but there's an integration of some new with neutral oak, and I really think that's the way to go these days because people kind of got a little overboard with too much oak, in my opinion. And one way to kind of get the best of new oak without it overpowering the grapes is to use some neutral oak with it. And it's different than using a second or third year oak only. The first year gives like a certain flavor profile that is different than the second year. And it's not just a watered down version of it. It does taste different. And so knowing that, this winemaker is using neutral and first year. And so you still get that first year taste, but not the intensity of the first year oak. And that's something that I love. I love this, and I love seeing more of it. And what a great price for this big old cap.
It is a monster.
This reminds me of so many of the, $50, $60, $70 cabs that we have.
It's huge.
It's brilliant, and there's a beautiful acidity to it. Now this is only 77% cab, which is I'm still not really sure how they're able to label that cab as a single varietal because in my line studies it had to be 85%.
80, 85, yeah.
To label something a single varietal, and it's nowhere listed on the bottle that it's not. So through some research, I discovered that they also have some Petit Verdot, Petit Syrah, a little bit of Malbec and Merlot added, which is great, and that's fine. But I don't know if you should be labeling as a single varietal cab. But
you wonder if all the, you wonder if this is a, hey, everybody's busy with COVID. Let's slide. Let's slide this under the radar.
And again, I don't want to be a nitpicker here, but the reason I think it is important is because this does have certainly those kind of more rounded, filled out profile that the red blend, it's made the red blend so popular from California lately, and I think they should let you know that because personally, if I'm looking for this style, I might be looking for that kind of red blend, and because this gives you a lot of those red blend attributes.
Do you think now? Because I agree with you. I think it's counterintuitive. I mean, but in our little world, in our little world, maybe we think.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would want it to be labeled a blend.
These days, yeah, it seems like
the
the
hottest
hottest
thing.
thing
That
going.
would be.
Yeah.
Well, would it be a precipitous to sell more, or at least have a more interesting getting it out in front of more people? It's like, oh yeah, California Cab.
Yeah.
What else? But a blend is going to be more interesting, easier to talk about, easier to hand sell. It puts you in a different category on the shelves. I mean, but who knows?
Well, whatever.
No one asked me.
I'm not. What I wouldn't change is how they're making it because it's absolutely beautiful, and I could sleep in that stuff.
I'm telling you,
or maybe pass out is the proper word.
It keeps changing too.
But
It gets better with every sip.
it comes on so big and plush, and then it really kind of turns into almost like a medium weight, and then finishes really strong. It really is a little bit of a roller coaster ride, and it's full of black fruit, dark fruit.
Black fruit, licorice, vanilla, caraway.
Yes.
I mean, it's got it all, but it's
And
lush.
Yeah.
But it's lush fruit. It's not, all those things. I mean,
There's just a really nice, this is the nice surprise for me, is this nice little acid at the end, this beautiful acidity at the end that it's almost like the fruit's so heavy you think it's going to coat your mouth, but that acidity just washes right away.
washes it.
So it's almost like it's almost like a refreshing red. I don't know how they pull that off, because it seems like it'd be a heavy, stick to your tongue kind of cab, but in the end it's refreshing. You can almost chug this.
Well, we'll find out. Are you ready for a really weird thing that this reminds me of?
Throw it at me.
Blackberry and rhubarb tart.
All right. Definitely, because there are some really high-toned reds behind it, and that rhubarb would...
The rhubarb and the blackberry, and I'm not talking about a sugar tart.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just like a fruit
Natural.
tart, like an old school fruit
Natural.
tart.
Mhm.
Because it does have the rhubarb and the blackberries are full of acid and aren't particularly sweet, and it just and this blooms like a champ as it warms up. I'm telling you, it is changing in the glass for the better.
That licorice is coming on too, and it's not like, it's like the really elegant licorice. It's not like, sometimes wines, their licorice comes across as
It's
clumsy.
not a Skittle.
Yeah, right.
What are those long?
Twizzler.
It's not a Twizzler. I mean, it is a fine fennel.
Yeah.
Almost like a fennel liqueur, if there is such a thing.
Oh yeah, almost kind of black sambuca.
There it is. There it is, black Zambuca.
Yeah, because it has a weight to it too that would mimic that kind of a weighty licorice flavor
Well, how do
and
you do it
anise.
now? Have you really had enough to make that bold pronouncement?
Well, you're probably right, Chef. Although I can tell you this, I've had more black sambuca than probably just about anybody you'll ever meet in your life.
That's a true story, and I despise liquor, and
Yeah,
I always
but
drink black Sambuca with you.
It's delicious.
I don't even like
well,
licorice.
it's good for your digestive system.
That's the only reason I do it.
That's
To make you feel better about
That's why I
your-
drink half
your-
a fifth of it.
I do it to make you feel better.
You're sweet. So, what are you going to throw at this big boy?
Well, I'm just in love with this little farm in Virginia. So last week we did the flank steak, or was it the short? We did one of the wagyus.
Oh, we did a flat iron.
Flat iron. That's right. Sorry, we had like 9 different cuts last week.
Yeah, they all sold out.
They all sold out, every bit of it. And so, of course, emboldened with that success, got more in today. But we're going to do the ground wagyu from the same farm. It's still the Avoca Farms right outside of Richmond, Virginia. But I'm doing a meatball with the ground.
Nice.
And what we're going to do is we're actually going to braise this meatball. So we're going to make the meatball a little sturdier than normal. We're going to sear it, braise it in a little bit of wine, and finishing it with a cranberry relish.
Sweet.
So I think the cranberry's got a little balsamic.
Yeah.
So I made it with a little balsamic, a hint of orange.
Oh, yeah.
So that, I think, with the fatty wagyu, I think that's going to be a nice little accompaniment.
Yeah, and the spice in here.
The spice,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you ever had luganica? It's like a Greek sausage.
No. That's the one?
There's
Now,
a
I'm about to
lot
find
of
out.
profiles from that, and I can actually
Can
get
you
some.
find
I'm going
some?
to get some because it's like somebody made wine out of that sausage.
Okay.
All the fennel and all the different things, and it's cured, but you still cook it.
Right.
So it's like a cross between a salumi and a fresh sausage. It's really bizarre how they
Cool.
do it, but we're going to get some next week and
That
try it
sounds
with
great.
this. It'll be fun.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
sausage and wine.
Yeah, I mean, what could go
I
wrong?
guess we could suffer through that together.
Can we just make about a 4-hour event out of that?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Hmm. Well,
God.
we talked about Christmas. We are doing some different scheduling. We're going to actually be open every day except Christmas. So we're going to be open for lunch. Well, let's start with brunch. We're doing brunch on Sunday. So we'll be
every
open
day from yesterday through Christmas.
Yeah, and we're going to be open this Sunday for brunch. We're going to be open Monday for lunch when we're normally closed. So people out doing last minute shopping and whatnot, if they are out shopping, or if they just want to come by and pick up some wine or gift certificates or food, we can do that. And then lunch Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, closed Friday, and then we'll be back at it Saturday.
Back at it. Saturday will be our only dinner service next week. But open for lunch every day.
And then we do brunch again on that Sunday, so that'll be good. And we just posted out all of our family meals for the week, and they are beautiful.
Made a beautiful jambalaya today.
Mm-hmm.
Putting that Wagyu brisket in the oven tonight. The marbling on that is ridiculous. Doing our bacon wrapped chicken thighs.
Yeah.
This week, doing a honey soy glazed steelhead salmon this week with a fried rice and spring rolls.
Yeah. Life is good
Life's
at
good.
ONS. So take advantage of those so you don't have to stress out about your meals on a day-to-day basis.
Let us stress out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You just relax.
Yep, and if you're looking for anything special, nice bottle of champagne, high-end Chardonnay, whatever it may be, I'd be happy to get it for you. But let's do it quickly because we're running out of time. Christmas is on the way.
And not
This
a
would
lot
be a
of
great
delivery
gift.
days left between now and Christmas. So
By the way, this bottle weighs about 50 pounds.
yeah, I'm surprised you do that with one hand.
That is a substantial wine there. So
You
if you're
feel
looking
like
for,
you're doing something when
Yeah.
you pick that up.
if you and a lot of times that presentation really is an eye opener to people, and if you're looking to impress somebody, that'd be a wine to do it. That you can do it on the cheap. So anytime that we find caliber wine like this at reasonable prices, we jump on it. And we don't know how long that'll last, but let's get it while we can.
Yeah, I mean this is, and let me tell you, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, this second glass is better than the first. I mean, it's really blooming out now. It's getting some good air in it, it's circulating.
The aromatics are going more up into my nasal passage too. Yeah, I'm getting even more of the spice, which it really does come across as a very fruity wine, but there is so much spice in here that's hidden. So it's integrated. That's the key. It's well integrated, and another sign of a great wine. Long finish, another sign of a great wine.
So legs on it.
Yep. So we've got the goods for you here. So whenever you're ready, come by or give us a call. Happy to take care of you.
Delicious.
And all those of you out there enjoying your last couple of days of Hanukkah, cheers to you. And we hope that you're enjoying those. Was it 8 days now? It's always been
8 or 10.
I think it's 8. Let's say 8. My Hanukkah friends sent me Happy Hanukkah notes the day of, and I know that's where it gets me. Because I'm ignorant of most religions, so I apologize, but I'm pretty sure it's an 8-day celebration.
Right.
But regardless, I hope you're having a great one, and we will see you again before Christmas.
We'll see you next week.
That's right.
One more time.
And we'll wish everybody the appropriate holiday greetings at that time.
We may have a Santa hat or a small tree by then.
That's a possibility. I finally put mine up yesterday.
Nice.
Yep.
Well
I actually did 2. I bought one of those little bitty trees and put it on the front porch.
Look, I got to do that today because I did the inside tree early, but I haven't done anything to the porch. It looks terrible. I've still got my dead ferns out there, my dead mums.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
So I need to do that today on this beautiful icy
I
weather.
lost all my ornaments in my Christmas tree somehow.
When I moved from Cana to to town here, when we blended our families, lost
Yeah.
all my ornaments.
Yeah, I mean, like I've
40
accumulated-
years worth of ornaments.
I've accumulated all these wonderful ornaments.
I know, I'm actually, it's a sore subject, I don't like to talk about.
Oh, well, let's change the subject.
Because, I mean,
Well, you know what? They're just things, right?
well, yeah, okay.
Okay, we'll go with that.
They're
So-
very sentimental.
Sure. So, if anybody's in the sentimental ornament part of their shopping, here's two guys
That's right.
that
Let's
need
start over.
that we're just going to start back over. I did find one of my ornaments. It was one of those nice German handmade ornaments.
That's a good
And it
one to
was,
find.
but guess what it was? It was a Chicago deep dish pizza. so,
Classic.
so Lisa and I
That's
bought a
awesome.
bunch of just the red shiny balls, the standard fare. Filled out the tree with that and a bunch of lights, and then I have my one Chicago deep dish pizza ornament.
That is awesome.
It makes it even more awesome because it's like the
It's
only.
the centerpiece
it's
of
the
the
only
whole tree.
different
It's like,
one,
there
you know?
it is.
Anyway,
Well, that says a lot. I
you know
love
what?
it.
It's about, but you know what? You know, I know there's sentiment, and you know, I love that stuff, and I hate that we're both missing out on those precious things that we have lost. But you know, it really is about putting up that tree and thinking about what you do have and not what you
That's true.
don't have.
I do have the Jerry ornament. that
Do
was
you
hand
really?
painted. Yeah,
Awesome.
the hand painted.
Yeah.
The Christmas the Christmas that she died.
Hmm.
We had a local artist do a custom bulb
Yeah.
with her on there. So she's right there in the middle of the
That's
tree.
awesome.
So that's
Old Jerry Berry,
Jerry Bear. Don't
Yeah.
have my Chloe ones.
natural born killer.
Ghost face killer.
That dog killed more animals.
Everything in this sight.
Crazy. Well, anyway, so keep in mind that we could use some sentimental ornaments for anybody out there watching.
Shameless.
Shameless
I love
plug
it.
right there.
I love it.
All right, everybody. It's always a pleasure, and hope you enjoyed these wines as much as we do. And we'll see you next week.
Enjoyed our time together. Thank you.
See ya.